Timothy.
Slamothy.
So originally Moondog released this a couple of years back, or a year or so back, and called it Tim Tam Slam, which of course immediately made the whole thing
illegal. Can't call it that.
Copyright. So they renamed it Tamothy, Slamothy. Works for me. And the thing is though,
so different. No one will ever get the link.
They'll never relate it together. But when I actually had the first iteration of this, or maybe it might have been the second iteration when I got hold of it, it literally was so chocolatey, so biscuity, that it was like a Tim Tam.
In a good way?
Yeah, I love Tim Tams.
Like a poor man's penguin.
Oh. Yeah. You know when they boil penguins, they actually boil penguins to make Guinness, because the white comes to the top.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's my brewing knowledge. Anyway, that being said, so this is from Moondog.
So is this better or worse?
This isn't quite as chocolatey as it was, but it's a lot more biscuity.
Okay.
And it's got more coffee to it, which is more like the Tim Tam Slam, because you're looking for the coffee. As I said, it was chocolate and biscuit before. Now with the coffee component in there, it does give it another layer of complexity. But yeah, it's a great little
I like it.
I love it. This is actually one of my favourite. And to turn up halfway through, people are now looking at me going, if this is turning up halfway through now, what the hell are we finishing with?
Which is really interesting, because, I mean, 6.5% is not a low strength beer, and it's not like we're going into the crazy teens or something today.
No.
But it sits in the middle of what we've got.
Yep.
And it's got a refined sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not over the top. There is lactose in there, which is what you get your sweet flavour from. It's
is that where you get your sweet flavour from?
Yeah, so lactose is a sugar that doesn't ferment very well, and so that's what gets a milk stout has lactose in it, and it leaves residual sweetness because the yeast can't consume it and turn it into alcohol, which it does with less complex sugars. So there's that. There's also the oats, which helps with that good head, I think, and the nice smoothness. And it's also got a couple of other oats in there, according to this, rolled and golden naked oats. But there's a little bit of biscuity in there coming through.
Supermodel oats, are they?
There's a little bit of chocolate malt. There's some cacao. There's some.
Pardon me.
Yeah. Like you said, the biscuity flavours from the right malts as well.
The nose is great. Palate's lovely.
The nose gives me the most Tim Tam thing.
The nose, it's very aromatic with the chocolates.
Yeah. But not to the point that I'd be like, that's just too sweet.
No. Well, remember, I don't mind some of the sweeter stuff, but this I find to be just a beautiful balance between. And it is. It's actually well balanced. I've never been a huge lover of Moondog's standard beers. Like, they're all solid, they're all very good, but I mean, like, I just I don't buy them. However, the limited releases that they've done, I'll probably take just about every limited release they do, because they really put a lot of effort into it, and they also seem to really think about what their market they're aiming for is. So they had, in the same vein as this, they had the Ogden's Pash Rash, which you needed to drink warm, otherwise you would have got the raspberries and wild berries out of. But then they also released the Game of Thrones thing. They've got the licensing for Game of Thrones for beer. And so they did, I have no idea, White Walkers, or I can't remember the name of them, but they were great beers. Really good, eminently drinkable.
Well, this beer actually highlights what is so cool about Brew Crew is this is not a beer that you would want to drink a lot of. And one of the problems I think we sometimes have, it's a good problem to have, is that by having a relatively small amount, you can find these kind of beers not too sweet. You can really appreciate them in a way that having a carton of this stuff would probably not be that much fun in a way. Like, unless you spread it out over time. But I wouldn't want to drink this beer every night after work. It's not like a
I'd have it one night. That'd be my monthly beer. Like that one a night for that. But honestly, the best part about beer now is that you're not having to drink the same beer over and over and over again. Yeah. You can now spice it up by buying, I'll have one of those. If you're smart, you buy a 6-pack of each of them, and you have, one on each stage of the day that you want. Anyway, we're off to the next one.
Lovely.
I'm really looking forward forward to the next one. I want to see if it's as good out of the can as it is